Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Season A1, the platform where we speak truth to power. How long gonna go this suffer? I want you to listen for a few minutes. How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long go? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? So, what I want you all to do now is to think about that. How long gonna go this suffer? Now, we have been suffering for a long time collectively in our communities. They've made you think it's an individual, somebody else's fault, this one and that one. It's been by design. We need to break it apart. It's time for us to wake up. We're trying to show you 5 key things that you must do, 5 key things that you need to do within each and every community from today. Don't worry about the elections. It's not going to change anything. This will change something if we all work together. So we're going to talk you into in intricate detail as to how we can achieve this. Now, I want to quickly touch on this. I've put sections of the Constitution alongside this broadcast, and I'll read it to you. You'll see it on the side, and when you see the front of the of this post, it will show it clearly, so you can read it. But the more important ones that I want you to do is to take action. So, I'm just going to quickly read this to you. The section 14.2c of the Constitution says that the participation by the people in their governance shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this Constitution. The participation of the people, that's you. That's you. That is you. You and I and all of you within your community. You need to participate. It is guaranteed by the Constitution. And then it goes on to say, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this Constitution, derives all its powers and authority. So when I tell you that you have the power, I'm not just saying it. It says so in the Constitution of Nigeria. It says so. So I want you to hold on to those 2 facts. You have to participate, and sovereignty belongs to you. Those 2 things you have to hold on to. That's the fact that you need to spread to all and sundry, everybody within your community. Your community is the foundation of the nation. If it's not working, the nation is not working. So you need to go back as a collective within your community and begin to exercise that power that it states that you have, which is the sovereignty. You need to exercise that. You must exercise it by participating in your governance. How do you participate? Begin to hold your councillors to account. Begin to question them. Get them to come to meetings, and you talk to them and you tell them this is what you want. And always remember, you are allowed by the Constitution to participate in your governance, and sovereignty belongs to you. Those are 2 powerful tools in your hand. They've made you not look at that, but we are trying to remind you. For as long as we're in contraption Nigeria, this is what we need to do. We need you to exercise that, and we will need you to help to bring about people in every community waking up to hold this governance to account. Once you start doing that, the referendum that we want will come sooner than we think. Very important. Now, let's go to the next step. So we've talked about participation, don't forget, and sovereignty. Your participation and sovereignty. They are 2 things you need. Now, okay, the next thing now. I'm going to read 5 things, like I said. You have the right to hold the government officials and the serving politicians to account as a citizen. Collectively within your community. How do you do that? By calling your councillor to come to a meeting. Don't forget, you have the right to participate in your own governance by holding them to account. By holding them to account, you are participating in your governance. That's your role. Their job is to ensure that whatever you ask them to do, they do. Your job is to make sure that whatever you want, you tell them and you make sure they do it. That is your role. That is your participation, your active role in it. And don't forget, you have the sovereignty. So, now, the next bit. So, like I said, the local councillor now, you call him in, you do a walk round. Have 10 people from a committee, one of you each talking about roads, water, light, and walking through with him, giving him a deadline to come back to you, and keep chasing until you get those things done within your community. Very important. Next thing, you as a citizen, you subsidize the uniform of the police and the army. You see the guys you see in there, they are policemen, and what they're using, they're trying to use the psychology of the clothes to the uniform to try and cower you, to make you cower. But don't forget, sovereignty belongs to you. Sovereignty belongs to you, and you have the power through participation to hold them to account. When you hold them to account, you are participating in your government. When you hold them to account, that is participation in your own government. It is guaranteed under that fraudulent 1999 constitution. We use it in as far as possible. The things in there, it's time we point that out. Please take hold of this. Share it in every community. Every community. So that's number 2. Number 3, I want you to know that you as a citizen, you pay the wages of the president, vice president, senators, House of Reps, State House of Assembly members, local government chairman, down to the councillors. You are the one paying for it because it's our collective money that they're using to run the government. It's the money they take from all of us collectively that they use to run the government. And I've said before, the best way you can participate in your own governance is to hold them to account. That is your job as a citizen. And we need to do it collectively. Going to the church is distracting you from holding your governance to account. Going to the mosque is distracting you from holding your government to account. Going to a mosque, a church, a babalawo to solve any problem to do with your community is distracting you from carrying out your number 1 job as a citizen by participating. That is to hold your government to account. The churches are distracting you. The mosque are distracting you. The babalawos are distracting you. Because that's not the way who you have a problem with. The problem is the government. And unless you hold them to account, nothing will change in the short term anyway. Because what we need to change is the constitution. But to get there, you need to start this process with what I'm showing you right now. The next thing, number 4, you as a citizen, you fund the building used by politicians such as the National Assembly, State House of Assembly, and local government offices. You are the one. It's our collective money they use to build it. It's not the money from their pockets. It is our collective money. This needs to go to every community. When you get this message, share it. It's really important. I'm going to come back with this message in Yoruba. And if you are an Igbo person, we need this information. I don't trust the system, but in as far as we have those powers, we can use it to our advantage until we get to the point where we have a referendum. And this will awaken our people to now go even more strongly towards referendum once they realize what the powers that have been used to oppress us for so long. I am very sure of that. So please share this broadcast. Very important. Number 5, you as a citizen, you have the right to collectively go to the House of Assembly to question why local government funds are being withheld from your own community. You have the right. So these 5 things are very, very important. And it's allied to the fact that within the constitution, you are mandated to participate in your own governance by holding the government to account. From local government to state government to federal, you hold them to account. That's your job. And then that is backed up by sovereignty. That's the power we have. But unless we teach this community by community, we can't make that change to prepare us for going for referendum. Very, very important. I hope this makes sense. Please share this broadcast. At the top of the page, I will the section 14.2c and 2a will come up on the screen when you see this broadcast. It will be the first thing you see. I want you to read it and I want you to take it in. And then before I go, I want you to show you this man. This man has pulled all of those things I just said into one by the action he just took. And I want you to emulate what this man has done. What this man has done in this video. Listen. Look.
Have any authority to stand here and be stopping Okada people? Yeah, authority will only let my dog Okada do me by. Just because you are in uniform.
he is participating in his own governance. Remember, he is holding them to account to him. He is holding them to account to him. He's asking them a question. He's posing questions to them. What authority do you have? And they have to answer him, because he's doing what? Under section 14.2c, participation by the people in their governance shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. That is what that man has just demonstrated right there. And I wanted to state that point. It's really important. Please share this broadcast when you get it. So that is what's what he's done. Let's move on further to what he does next. Listen to this.
Just use his uniform to oppress people. No.
Oh, sorry about that. 1 second. Ooh, I'll bring it back. Don't worry. It's playing the game, but it will be back there. Don't worry.
Have any authority
So
to stand
now,
here?
so next thing he
Authority
does
will
is.
only let him adopt that drone
So we'll
device.
go on. Sorry about that. Okay.
Just because you are in uniform, you are just using uniform.
You see, just because you are in uniform. Remember, I spoke about uniform. Now, he is participating in his own governance by holding them to account. That is what we need to do. That's our job. We have to hold them to account. They are elected officials and officials who have been appointed to carry out the work instructed by those who we elected. So both of them are working for you and I within our communities. So what is done? He's challenging them. You know, remember I talked to you about we subsidize the uniforms. Well, what they try to do is to use the uniform to oppress us. You have to remember that we have the right to participate in our own governance. If we allow them to use the weapon, the uniform to intimidate us or oppress us, we will not be able to speak up about our particular job, which is to participate in our own governance by holding them to account. Let's play that bit again. See what it means. I want to roll it back. Listen to it. Listen to what he said. Listen to what he said here.
Yeah, authority will only let him adopt that drone device. Just because you are in uniform.
Just because you are in uniform. Every community understand that. Just because you are in uniform. They were using the uniform to psychologically oppress, because as soon as they stop anybody, once you see the uniform, it's my Oga. No, they're not your Oga. You are the boss. Because remember, sovereignty belongs to you and I. And you need to stand together within your community to enforce that sovereignty. You must stand together within your community. I know it sounds like a long shot, but this is the only option we have to really begin to build our local community. Enough talk. Forget the church, forget the mosque, forget the babalawo. To get infrastructure in your community, these are the steps you must take. Exactly the things they've done. I've shown you two things now. Firstly, he's showing them that he is participating in his own governance as mandated under section 14.2c of that 1999 constitution, the fraudulent constitution. Secondly, he is now showing them that they are trying to use the uniform to intimidate and oppress. And as I told you, you are the ones subsidizing and paying for. The army get an allowance for their uniform, and the police are subsidized by you. So they're using what you pay for to oppress you. You must participate. They must not stop you from participating in your governance. For as long as we're in that fraudulent 1999 constitution, we need to begin to turn that table. And every community in the South and Middle Belt, we must be aware of this fact. Very, very important. So, now let's go on to the next thing he did. And we're trying to break it down line by line so you understand exactly what they're doing. Here we go.
You are just using the uniform to oppress people.
You are just using the uniform to oppress. That is what they do. When you see the police, they are using the uniform to oppress. When you see the army, wherever they are, they're using it to oppress. And then when they come with the tank, it's all about oppressing you. But remember, your job as a citizen is to participate in the governance by holding the government to account. That's your job. And nothing must stop you. The best way you can achieve that is by working collectively within each community. Do you get that? I hope that makes sense. Really, really important point there. Right, let's carry on to the next point. Here we go.
No.
Now, very savvy here. He was going further to confront them in a in a clear manner, participating in his own governance. He's participating. Never forget that. But he also wanted proof of what he was saying. So the next person who was next to him, he called him and said, come. And the guy started filming, continued the filming. And that is very important. So when you're doing this, when you're showing, for example, when you're showing the councillors around, film it. Film it. Because it's part of your role. You're participating in your governance by holding them to account. You understand that? Okay, so let's carry on. Oh, sorry about this. Oh, 1 second. I'll get back there. I don't know what this is doing this to now. I was really getting to the piece of it. Hang on, let's go. So now, let's go to the next thing. Now, so it's filming. He goes there. Now, watch this. Watch this. Watch. So he said, no. They wanted to silence him. Again, you have the sovereignty as citizen. And you are mandated under the 14.2c of the 1999 Constitution, that fraudulent Constitution, to participate in your own governance by holding the government to account. Two things. So now what they do is they still try using the uniform to intimidate, but he presses on because he's aware that of his right under 14.2c to participate in his own governance. Our role is to question and to make them accountable to us. That's our role. And we need to do it collectively within our community. We need to start from today. We need to share this message from one community to the next. We stand as one community, not as individuals, but as a community, a collective going forward and beginning to stand for your right as stated under that fraudulent 1999 Constitution. Let's proceed. Okay. See?
Just tell me.
Again, he's reminding them, you're wearing a uniform because they're trying to use the uniform to oppress him. But it's not working because he knows that it is his right to participate in governance by holding all of them, the military, the police, the government officials, the politicians, all of them, they are accountable to you. Please get that point. We need to share this. Every community stand together. That is the way to get the governance we want. If we don't participate in our own governance under this fraudulent constitution, nothing will change. We need to begin that process because ultimately the end goal is to go for referendum. When you start exercising that at the foundation of the nation, we will get that referendum. I guarantee you. The election is a meaningless exercise, in my opinion. So let's carry on.
This is the authority I have. This is the law.
He's asking them to show the authority because under Section 14.2c, he is mandated as a citizen to participate in his own governance by questioning, holding them to account. You see what I'm saying? Very important. Now let's carry on again.
That gives me the authority to be stopping people.
So again, he's asking them. So never forget, 14.2c gives you the power to participate in your governance by holding those the government are given mandate, appointing or appointing or you have elected into positions to carry out the services and the requirements that you have put before them. So I hope this is makes sense. I hope this makes sense. I'm going to do it in Yoruba as well. I'm going to do it in Yoruba. And I want you to study closely the document. I'm going to put it at the top of the page so you can screen grab it and share it. This, you can screen grab what I've shared to you now in every community. Screen grab it, share it. You will see it posted at the top of this broadcast when I share it. But one more time, I want you to look at the entire thing he did and understand all of that is cloaked, is actually around the issue of the fact that he's exercising his democratic rights as a citizen under Section 14.2c to participate in his own governance. We need to teach our people. We got to teach each other. Every community must be taught this process to be able to bring about having roads, water, light, school, bridges, healthcare in each and every community. It is our participation. Going to a church, going to a mosque, going to Babalawo, you're wasting your hours that you should spend planning and organizing how you're going to make sure that your own surroundings in your local government is as how you desire it, to have those things that you wanted, that we've been longing for so long. Light, water, road, safety, security, hospital, and so on and so forth. we can achieve this collectively together until we get to the point where we can go our separate ways, because we must go our separate ways. I'm very, very clear about that. But ladies and gentlemen, watch this, and then we will wrap it up. Let's go back one step. Please do share.
Have any authority to stand here and be stopping Okada people? Yeah, authority will only let my dog Okada do me by. Just because you are in uniform, you are just using the uniform to oppress people. No.
Never forget, they use the uniform to oppress. It's a visual psychological attempt, power. Once you see it visually, psychologically you subdue yourself. Oh, they are the ones in power. No, you have the power. 14.2c, you have the right to participate in your governance by questioning them, which is what he did. And of course, it's backed up by the fact that sovereignty belongs to you and I in our community by community as individuals, but it's even stronger as a collective. Community by community, we have that sovereignty. And we must reflect it by ensuring that that sovereignty gives us what we need in our community. Roads, water, light, school, bridges, healthcare. We need to exercise that. That's the point about sovereignty. I hope this is making sense. Let's go ahead. 1 second.
No.
Say,
Let me know you have uniform level. Just tell me this is the authority I have. This is the law that gives me the authority to be stopping people.
You see, the psychology wasn't working on him. It clearly wasn't working on him. And that's what I want you to understand. Sorry. 1 minute. The psychology wasn't working on him. And that's what I want you to understand. So let me just forward it quickly up to that point. You see, look at them. There's 3 officers. The psychology wasn't working on him because he knows what he needs to do. And that is what we need to teach in our community. There's 3 officers around him, but he said, you're trying to use the uniform. He kept telling them, you're trying to use the uniform to intimidate me. That's because he knows that he's the one paying for. He may not know it like I'm telling you, but it's something instinctively he knows I'm the one that you are working for. The sovereignty belongs to me. I have the right to participate in my own governance by questioning everybody I deem fit as a citizen, and he's exercising that right. So we need to teach this. This is a template for how every community should really go about. We have to train our people to do this. We actually have to train our people to do this community by community. We literally have to do that. So I want you to play back this video, rewatch it, play it, use it as a template in every community. Because if we are not psychologically ready for what they're doing, we'll be thrown off balance all the time. 3 men, all in uniform around him, is to psychologically subdue him. It didn't work because he knows that he has the right to participate under Section 14.2c. And under Section 14.2a, he knows that the sovereignty belongs to us as a people. So within our country, we must exercise that. And the sovereignty, to enjoy the sovereignty that is so-called ours, it should translate into us having roads, water, lights, schools, bridges, healthcare, safety and security, and all of that. You won't find those things in the church or the mosque. It's an illusion. Or the babalawos. You have to do it within your community. So let's get to work. If you're watching this, send this to your community. Send this to your community. You will make a change that you will never ever believe in your life. You'll be amazed. These are the templates of what we need to do to rebuild. And we need this for when we go for Yoruba Nation, Biafra Nation. This because we are building people who will be part of the governance, and the nations that we create from the dismantlement of that contraption Nigeria will be fantastic nations, I guarantee you. Because the people are now aware of their role within their own governance. And we need that. So please, I urge you, if you're watching this broadcast, Yoruba man, Biafran or Lower Niger or whatever you want to call yourself, Middle Belt, share. Share this to at least 100 people each. Because that's how much we need to reach. Let's say they say they've got more local government areas than enough. Fine. Let's say for argument's sake, all of the Middle Belt, Southwest, Southeast. Let's share this to all those communities. That's where we start. The election, it means nothing. This is where the real power is. Participation of the people, sovereignty. We own it, and we can use it to get what we want till we get to the place we can go for referendum. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. When you get this podcast, I want you to share, and share. You will make a change to improve the lives of the coming generation. Please share this podcast. Do not leave it to waste. It has got really important information, and I will put the screen, the front of it. You will read it yourself. You can pause it and read that. You can take a copy of it, share it in all of the communities. Let them read that. And I'll come back and do that again in Yoruba. And I'll urge my Igbo brothers to do the same thing. My Middle Belt brothers do the very same thing. Please share, and share. Very, very important. We have to use what we have to get what we want. We are going for Yoruba nation. But for now, we need to use what we have in continental Nigeria, the constitution, to get to the point where we can get to the referendum. And they cannot stop us. They cannot stop us. But we need us all to work collectively together, community by community. No individuals, community. Thank you very much. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Just to leave you a little bit of a reminder, how long gonna go they suffer? How long gonna go they suffer? How long gonna go they suffer? How long? Not long if we begin to take collective action. You won't find the solution in a church, in a mosque, or the babalawo. You will find it in your own community by coming together and exercising your rights collectively, participating in your governance by holding those you elect into office to account. You need to do that. The churches and the mosque and everything else, they're trying to distract you, so you never hold them to account. I hope this information you find useful. Share to at least 100 people each. I kid you not. The more of the communities you share it, the better, because they need to understand this. Really, really important. Thank you for watching. And of course, don't forget, please, if you find this beneficial, subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Help us grow the platform and reach more people. And I'll come and talk about this on the live broadcast again. But this is very important. Please share, and share. Thank you for watching, and bye for now. Bye for now.